Hi, we're here at the Interactive Festival Trade Show talking to Tamar Gubins, who's with the ACLU, and she's talking about something called Demand Your Dot Rights. What can you tell us about this?
The Demand Your Dot Rights campaign was a campaign that the ACLU of Northern California launched just a few months ago to educate users about their online privacy and their digital privacy, their rights, what is not protected, and hopefully encourage users to talk to their government officials, talk to companies, and demand that they have more control over their personal information.
Well, I mean, for the average computer user, I mean, like I have, like, say, a Facebook account and like a YouTube account, and then maybe like an account on Amazon.com, but that's really it. Should I be concerned about privacy?
Absolutely. Every time you do a Google search, if you Google search for living with HIV, that information is then tagged on the Google servers, and it's available if somebody would like to subpoena or use a warrant to access it, and if Google will hand it over. And there's very minimal legal protection, unfortunately, for that sort of information. And so in that case, that could be something that's very personal to someone. They wouldn't necessarily want their employer finding out about it. But it's available and it's accessible in certain cases.
Jesus. I'm also wondering about like complicated user agreements. Sometimes you'll just see an entire page and no one ever reads it. They're just like, agree. Is that sort of crap actually legally binding?
It's unclear if it's legally binding. There have not been a lot of clear court cases on it, and so I don't really have a good answer for that. It seems to be, in a lot of the cases where it has come in front of a judge, it has been considered legally binding, but I think it's unclear for the future.
Well, how about issues specifically relating to, say, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, or gay people? Are there any reasons that our community should be concerned about this?
Absolutely. Facebook recently in December launched a big privacy change where they led everybody through their privacy settings, and in fact what they did was make a lot of information more publicly available. So for example, if you are a fan of an LGBT community page, that information you used to be able to keep that information more private on your profile. If somebody just went to your profile, if you had the privacy settings, they wouldn't necessarily see that you were a fan of that page. All of a sudden, overnight, it became publicly available information, where if anybody went to your profile, they would be able to see it. And that's a problem because, for example, MIT recently did a study where they determined that you can tell to a very high probability if someone is gay based on who their Facebook friends are.
Wow.
So the more information you make public on Facebook, the more information, in fact, for the LGBT community, if they're not out to everybody in their lives, that information could be publicly available.
Wow. So what can the average person do to kind of learn more about these issues or even do something about them?
Well, we have a great new website called demandyourdotrights.org. We talk about a lot of these issues. We talk about social networking. We talk about cloud computing, when you put documents online and you store them online instead of on your hard drive, and all sorts of other things, Google searches, things like that, and about the legal rights people do have and which legal rights we would like them to be able to have in the future. We have a great action center where they can sign petitions for more transparency and other actions. So hopefully people will check that out and take action there.
Fantastic. We appreciate it, Tamar.
Great.
This is Daniel Villarreal reporting live from South by Southwest Interactive Festival for QWERTY.com.